Good morning, esteemed guests, faculty members, and dear students. Welcome to the inauguration ceremony of the Master of Arts and Postgraduate Diploma in English and Education, hosted by the Faculty of Graduate Studies of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka in collaboration with the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages. Today marks yet another significant milestone in the academic journey of this institution, as we gather here to celebrate the commencement of a program designed to enrich the minds and careers of educators and practitioners in the field of English language and teaching. Our overall goal here is the dissemination of knowledge and the cultivation of expertise among teachers, teacher educators, practitioners, and administrators in the realm of education. This program, therefore, with its extremely well-tailored curriculum and a brilliant panel of faculty, stands as a beacon of opportunity for those seeking to advance their careers and making a lasting impact in the field of education. Here, you will experience rigorous academic inquiry, innovative teaching methodologies, as well as hands-on practical training. So, on behalf of the faculty and the administration, I extend my warmest congratulations to all the participants and once again welcome all of you to the inauguration ceremony of the Master of Arts and Postgraduate Diploma in English and Education at Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. So, without further ado, we will now light the traditional oil lamp in commencement of this inauguration ceremony. To do the honors, I cordially invite the Chief Guest and the Vice Chancellor of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, Professor M. Sunil Shantha, the Guest of Honor, Professor Rohan Net Singha, Vice Chancellor, University of the Visual and Performing Arts, the keynote speaker, Professor Lalitha Nanda, Department of English and Linguistics, University of Sri Jayawardenepura, the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor H.S.R. Roseiro, the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, Dr. Rohana B. Vikrama, the Chairperson of the Board of Study, Humanities, Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, Professor Marojja Ariyaratne, Head, Department of Languages, Dr. Champa De Silva, the Coordinator of the MA in English and Education Program, Ms. Ajani Veerasinghe, Assistant Registrar, Faculty of Graduate Studies, Ms. Yashoda Chandrasekara, and one student representative. Thank you. And on this occasion, I cordially invite the following dignitaries to assume seats on stage. The Chief Guest and the Vice Chancellor of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, Professor M. Sunishanta. The Guest of Honor, Professor Rohan Netsingha, Vice Chancellor, University of the Visual and Performing Arts. The keynote speaker, Professor Lalitananda, Department of English and Linguistics, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. The Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor H.S.R. Roseiro. The Dean of the Faculty of Social Science and Languages, Dr. Rohana Bebikrama, and the Coordinator of the Main English and Education Program, and a Senior Lecturer at the Faculty of Social Science and Languages, Ms. Sajani Veerasinghe. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. Thank you. And now I cordially invite Professor H.S.R. Roseiro, the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, to welcome this distinguished gathering. Sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. We have gathered here today for the inauguration ceremony of the MA PGD in English and Education 2024 intake, offered by the Faculty of Graduate Studies and in collaboration with the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages. As mentioned before, this program is aimed at disseminating knowledge for teachers, teacher educators, practitioners, and administrators in education who are looking for a higher degree qualification in the field of English. This is a popular and a key postgraduate program in the portfolio of programs at the Faculty of Graduate Studies at Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. This program is very well organized, and the Faculty of Graduate Studies assures every support towards the development of this program. Your participation today in this occasion is highly valued and appreciated. My duty is to welcome everyone. Our chief guest, Professor M. Sunil Shantha, Vice Chancellor, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. We warmly welcome you, sir. Our keynote speaker, Professor Lalit Ananda, Department of English and Linguistics, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. Warm welcome to you, sir. Our guest of honor today, Professor Rohan Netsingha, the Vice Chancellor, University of the Visual and Performing Arts. A warm welcome to you, sir. And I warmly welcome Dr. Rohan Abevikrama, the Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, all directors of centers at Sabaragamuwa University, heads of departments, Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, Chairman, Professor Manoj Ratna, and members of Board of Study of Humanities, academic staff of Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, other academic staff catering towards the MA PhD program, administrative staff, non-academic staff, and most importantly, our students of the MA PGD in English and Education 2024 intake. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome with warmth and immense gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear sir. I would now like to invite Professor M. Sunil Shantha, the Chief Guest and the Vice Chancellor of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, to share his valuable thoughts on this event.
Very good morning, everyone. Professor Rohan Netsingha, the Vice Chancellor of the Visual and Performing Arts, Professor Lalit Ananda, Professor in English of the University of Sri Jayawardenepura, and today Chief Guest of this event, Professor Rohit Rosairo, the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Dr. Rohan Abevikrama, Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, the coordinator of this program, the chairman of the study board, Professor Manoj Ratna, heads of departments, the assistant registrar of the faculty, members of faculty staff, dear students. First of all, let me thank the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages for initiating the postgraduate program of MA in English and Education in collaboration with the Faculty of Graduate Studies of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. Next, I would like to thank both Deans of the Faculties of Graduate Studies and the Social Sciences Languages and the coordinator of this program for organizing this emerging inauguration ceremony within the very short period of time with our guest of honor, Professor Rohan Netsingha, Vice Chancellor of Visual and Performing Arts. And today, our event keynote speaker, Professor Lalit Ananda, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. I also congratulate all the students, those who registered here for the MA in English and Education for diploma and postgraduate courses who choose to be part of this university for their high studies. The prime objective of this postgraduate education and research of the Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka is to train the knowledge, the workforce that can meet the demanding needs of the country and the world. I expect you to positively contribute the advancement of knowledge through creative thinking and development. Therefore, students who are admitted to the postgraduate degree programs must make the use of this distinctive opportunity to achieve advanced academic excellence and, in time, offer their services to the nation. However, it is the university that is fully aware of the postgraduate education that is potent and latent in the students. Thus, it becomes the responsibility of the university to stir the latent ones and elevate the potent ones. As such, I feel that this particular effort taken by the faculty is an essential component of the academic sphere. Your way of thinking will be straight and your internal bias challenged. This is necessary because education means teaching people how to examine information and think critically. I'm sure this effort by the faculty will be very successful. I congratulate Dean of the faculty, both faculties of graduate studies and the social sciences and languages, academic staff, board of management, board of studies, and those who have made this effort to success and will continue even more effectively in the future. Finally, I wish all of you for success of your academic endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the speech by our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Rohan Netsinghe. Few might know that he is no stranger to Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. Therefore, to formally introduce him and to welcome him to the podium, I kindly request the presence of Dr. Rohan Abevikrama, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guest on the stage. It's a privilege to be here to introduce our guest of honor to this academic forum. Laureate of International Jazz and World Music Competitions, Professor Dr. Rohan Netsinghe is an esteemed figure in the field of music, creative arts, teacher education, and academia. Currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Visual and Performing Arts in Colombo, Sri Lanka. After completing his studies at the Royal College, Colombo, he earned his Bachelor of Fine Arts and Master of Fine Arts from Donetsk State Conservatory, Ukraine, in 1996 and 1998, respectively. These formative years laid the foundation for his multifaceted career as a musician, composer, community artist, music director, music teacher, academic researcher, and a lecturer. His academic journey continued with a Bachelor of Music Education honors and a postgraduate diploma in creative arts education from Monash University, Australia, followed by PhD from the same institution completed in 2013. Professor Nethasinghe has not only contributed significantly to the academic community, but has also made an impact on various esteemed institutions in Australia, such as primary and secondary schools, teacher quality institutions, technical and further education institutions, and universities. He has published his high-impact research reputed international academic journals and has produced pedagogical approaches and theories such as proximal simulation, intra-contextualization, continually adjustable transmission theory, and four-step models. These pedagogies, approaches, and his work in arts integration and STEAM areas are used globally as a current trend in the field. His professional trajectory includes roles at Monash University, RMIT University, and the University of Canberra, where his insights and dedication for teaching and research enriched the experiences of students and other stakeholders. In November 2022, Professor Rohan Nethasinghe's service to the field of creative arts education was acknowledged by His Excellency General the Honourable David John Hurley, the Governor General of the Commonwealth of Australia. So I now cordially invite Professor Rohan Nethasinghe to address the gathering. Thank you.
Right, a very good morning to you, Vice Chancellor of the University of Sabaragamuwa, Professor Sunil Santa, Professor Rosairo, Dr. Rohana Bevikrama, the two deans of the faculties, and Professor Lalit Ananda, the keynote speaker, and all the academic and non-academic staff here at Sabaragamuwa University, and my fellow teachers. I call you fellow teachers because I'm a teacher as well, a registered teacher, still a registered teacher in Victoria, Australia. And to work in teacher education, you have to be a teacher. So I'm one of those people who work in the industry and still maintain that registration. A very good morning to all of you. And I would like to ask you a question. All of you are teachers here, right? All of you? Secondary, English? Yeah? Good. And I see some international students as well. I warmly welcome you to University of Sabaragamuwa and Sri Lanka. Thank you for coming to us, and I think you are in good hands. Okay, so let me explain about this profession that we are in. You are here to embark on that learning journey again. Teachers become students. Again for CPD, Continual Professional Development. Or you can say Continuous Professional Development, or CPL, Continuous Professional Learning. So these acronyms you have to know. Okay, and then as English teachers in Sri Lanka, or maybe in China, you have to think of your audience, your students. You teach people who already speak another language, right? So English can be there, ... I'll explain that to you in a minute. Now, when I started my graduate diploma in 2006 at Monash, the term we used was ESL. I did that unit, English as a Second Language. And that wasn't the case anymore. And then they came up with TESOL. It's not TESOL, it's TESOL. People are saying TESOL, it's KESEL. Okay? TESOL. Teaching English to speakers of other languages. And then after that, it became EAL. English as an additional language. And now the current terminology that they use with the acronym is LBOTE, L-B-O-T-E. Sorry. Language background other than English. So this is the people that you are teaching. They come from language backgrounds other than English. So the world has realized people are multilingual. Okay, so that's why you are special. You are in this category of teachers who are doing a very special job, because in Sri Lanka, whether you like it or not, when you enter the university education, in tertiary education, the language of instructions is English. So people have to learn English, right? So that's why we consider you as very important in secondary level for students to have that background so that they can enter the university and learn in English. So thank you for your service, I really appreciate. I hope that you will learn something from here. Now, the reason for you to do this, I don't know in Sri Lanka, in other countries, you have a lot of benefits. As I told you before, CPD is really important in other countries. For example, for me to maintain my registration as a teacher in Australia, I have to undertake 20 hours of professional learning each year. So here it's not compulsory and you don't get that opportunity because the government does not provide that. But in Australia they do. And then the next one is for you to advance in the career, which is HALT, HALT qualifications. H means HA is highly accomplished, LT is leading teachers, so HALT. To get to the next career level, you have to do this professional development. At least you have to have a master's to become a highly accomplished teacher and then to become a leading teacher. And then you can move on to administrative roles in the schools. So, do we have any heads of English here? Just put your hands up, that's fine. This will be really beneficial for you to engage in this particular course. Now, next, I would like to go to some pedagogical aspects that they talked about when they introduced me. Dr. Rohan, thank you for that long introduction, but I have introduced some pedagogical concepts and theories that are currently being used widely in the world, especially in the field of creative arts. I'm not going to explain everything to you because it takes a long time. Proximal simulation is trying to simulate the context. Okay, because when you take knowledge from somewhere and plant it in the classroom, you have to simulate what happens in the real world. So that's proximal simulation. Inter and intra-contextualization is you take the content from outside and trying to put it back into a place where you have people from the same context or a different context. So let's say you're trying to teach agriculture in a classroom, not in a farm. So you have to take that knowledge out of that context and teach it in the classroom. So that's why I came up with these two pedagogical approaches. And the next one is the CAT, continually adjustable transmission approach, which is again constant evaluation of your teaching, and based on the feedback that you receive and the assessments that you do, continuous assessment, you change your teaching. And the next one is the 4-step flip. This is the one that I introduced during the COVID time, because you know the flipped approach, have you heard of flipped classrooms? Yes? If not, please Google search for that. And you will find the flipped classroom approach is used in the West a lot. Very similar to inquiry-based learning. And then when you create your lesson plans and unit outlines, there is a new method called the backwards design. People have been using that for 5 years in other countries. So you design it backwards with the assessment, first considering the assessments and the criteria, and then, so in other words, how to assess, how to understand what I have taught is learned by this person, and then what to teach in order to get there. Very simple. So these things are really important. I just wanted to share this with you because you have to be up to date with what's happening in the world. In Sri Lanka, we have a lack of getting there, especially with the technology. How many of you know about the TPAC theory? technological, pedagogical content knowledge. We have to learn about that if you are going to use online teaching and learning, and technology to prepare your teaching and learning material. It's really important. So I would like to invite you to engage in research, especially action research. I think this course will provide you that knowledge and skills in order to conduct action research. Just before I finish, let me tell you something really important. As teachers in Sri Lanka, we don't get that opportunity to upgrade our knowledge. But look at what happens in the field of medicine. During the COVID time, when they found these different injections, AstraZeneca and all those things, even a doctor in a village knew those vaccinations are there. So our teachers don't get that, but the doctors get that information. Why? That's because there's this third party in between. The pharmaceutical people, they promote it. They give the necessary knowledge to the practitioner. In teaching, you won't get it unless you do it yourself. So that's why I said researching and research-enhanced teaching is really important. In action research, what you do is you find a problem in your classroom as the practitioner, and then you try to improve that using your research skills. And then implement your strategy, try it, and then improve it again and do it again and again. In action research, you can do 3 spirals like this, upwards. Anyway, so just to mention the beauty of the profession teaching, I would like you to advise to constantly upgrade your knowledge and skills, and also engage in professional learning and professional development like you do here. Finally, I would like to congratulate you for considering to undertake a graduate diploma or a master's in education, and I wish you all the very best, and the faculty of the FGS at Sabaragamuwa and the HAS, HASS, all the very best, and the University of Sabaragamuwa to achieve this successfully. Have a good morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Professor, for your warm and modest presence, as well as that inspirational speech. You spoke for 10 to 15 minutes, and I feel like I learned a lot as well. And I myself am a teacher, so thank you very much for that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us move on to another main agenda item, which is the keynote speech. To introduce this remarkable person and to welcome him on stage, I kindly request the presence of one of his own students and my dear colleague, Ms. Dilusha Randi, lecturer, Faculty of Social Science and Languages.
Good morning. The Chief Guest and the Vice Chancellor of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, Professor Sunil Shantha, the Guest of Honor, Professor Rohan Nethsingha, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Visual and Performing Arts, the Keynote Speaker, Professor Lalit Ananda, the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor S.H.R. Rosairo, the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, Dr. Rohan Abevikrama, the coordinator of the MA PGD in English and Education program, Ms. Sajani Veerasinghe, deans of the respective faculties, heads of departments, lecturers, students, and all esteemed participants. It's with immense pleasure that I stand before you today to extend a warm invitation to Professor Lalit Ananda, a distinguished scholar and an expert in the field of linguistics, to deliver the keynote speech at the inauguration ceremony of MA PGD in English and Education 2024 program, which is offered by the Faculty of Graduate Studies in collaboration with the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. Lalit Anand currently serves as a professor at the Department of English and Linguistics at the University of Sri Jayewardenepura. His academic journey includes a PhD in generative syntax and an MPhil and a master's degree in linguistics from the University of Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, New Delhi, India, under the guidance of Professor Ayesha Kidwai. Additionally, he holds 2 bachelor's degrees with specialization in English from University of Kelaniya and University of Peradeniya. Professor Lalit's profound knowledge and groundbreaking research in mood, modality, topic, focus, and agreement phenomena in natural language have garnered him immense respect within academia and beyond. His research contributions are published in both local and international journals. And he is currently involved in compiling a generative grammar of Vedda language, a language spoken by an indigenous community in Sri Lanka. With over 3 decades of experience, Professor Lalit has made significant contributions to applied linguistics and English language teaching. Today, we have the privilege of benefiting from his insights and wisdom. His keynote speech promises to be enlightening and thought-provoking, offering valuable perspectives on linguistic applications. We are indeed fortunate to have him here today with us, and I'm confident that his words will leave a lasting impact on all present. I believe this forum presents a remarkable opportunity for aspiring researchers and scholars gathered here today. Thus, let us extend a warm welcome to Professor Lalit Anand as he takes the stage to deliver his keynote address. Let us open our minds and hearts to the wealth of knowledge he has to offer. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Professor Rohan Nethsingha, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Visual and Performing Arts, Professor Rosario, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor Manoj, Humanities Study Board Chair, Dr. Rohan, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, and all the other academic members, my students, Prandi and dear students. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to address you this morning as the keynote speaker of this very important event, the inauguration of MA PGD in English and Education. So first of all, let me thank Professor Sunil Shantha, the Vice Chancellor, and the Dean, Professor Rosario, and Dr. Rohan and his team for inviting me to this event. And also, let me congratulate you all for being selected to this MA PGD, which is one of the best MA PGD programs offered by our universities in Sri Lanka. It is actually a very well conducted program. So thanks to Dr. Rohan and his team. Since this program has a heavy linguistic component, English and education, and it includes your syllabus as a heavy linguistic component, I thought of talking about language and linguistic applications. So let me start it asking just a question. When we say language, all of us take it for granted since we have acquired it. Just like we never learned to talk, just like we never learned to walk, we never learned to talk. I mean the mother tongue. So we just take it for granted. We never think of asking this kind of question. What is language? Any answer? I mean, if you have, yeah, these students, these teachers, please feel free to talk. Anybody? Yes? I mean, very simple question. What is language? Okay, thank you. Any other? So yeah, this answer actually I expected, because this is one of the most common answers we get from the students and from any forum. In fact, when you say it's a mode of communication, you answer the question, what is language used for, rather than what is language, correct? And also, when this term comes to our mind, language, we think of different languages such as English, French, German, Chinese, Korean, etc. Right? However, that is not the way linguists use the term language. When linguists use this term, they refer to a mental property of human beings, which means it refers to the human being's ability to talk, to speak any language, as you see here. And Chomsky calls it the human language capacity, the part of the mind brain that enables us to talk. So as you see, the other definition is also as a psychological or cognitive property of humans, which means language as a property of our mind brain, of the human beings, which develops in accordance with the genetically determined characteristics. So this should give you the idea now, yes, we use language, that is true, to communicate, but actually speaking, Chomsky says, language evolved in the human beings for thinking, because we think most of our time rather than talk. Just these are some questions for you also to think. And Chomsky identifies 3 key properties of human language syntactic structure. When we say syntactic structure, human language sentence structure, right? These properties are really, in a way, surprising. They're natural, but surprising. One is human language syntax is hierarchical. So it doesn't have much to do with linear ordering. Linear ordering is necessary for the externalization of language, that is to put it out from the mouth, from our vocal organs to the audience. And then this hierarchical structure affect interpretation. I will show you with examples how this happens. And then also, there is no upper bound on this hierarchical structure, or let me explain, there is no upper bound even on a single sentence. Now let's see the first one. Let's see how these properties, whether these properties actually hold in language. Is why only us. Okay, it's downloadable from Google, you can read. Please see, pay attention to the adverb instinctively. The first sentence, birds that fly instinctively swim. What does instinctively modify? Can somebody tell me? You see there are 2 verbs in that sentence, flying and swimming. So what does instinctively modify? Fly, swim, both. What is your opinion? Now, focus on what we are saying here. Any idea? As you interpret it. Yes, what does instinctively modify? Swimming. Anybody else? Yes? Okay. For me, it is ambiguous. It can modify flying as well as swimming. Either the birds can fly instinctively, flying instinctively, or they swim instinctively. It is ambiguous. Now please see B sentence where instinctively is put in the front. Instinctively, birds that fly swim. What do you think now? Do we have any ambiguity there? Or what does it modify? Yes? Yes? Swimming. That's right. It modifies swimming. Now the point is, okay, if you look at the linear order of the sentence, instinctively word number 1, birds 2, that 3, fly 4, swim 5. If you look at instinctively the adverb is closer to flying according to linear order. Okay? Because fly is before swimming. However, instinctively does not modify fly. It modifies swimming, which is further away. The answer is, although swimming is further away in the linear order, linearly, it is structurally closer to instinctively. Right? This is why we are telling it is the structure, the hierarchy that matters, not the linear order. So you see, instinctively is actually closer to swim than to fly in terms of structural distance. Swim is embedded only one level deep, fly is embedded one level deeper than that. Okay. Now let's look at the second property we were talking, that is, the structure affects interpretation. That's the second point here. Now for this, I have taken this example. Please see, I saw the man with the binocular. What is your interpretation of the sentence? How do you understand it? Particularly the PP, the prepositional phrase with the binocular. I saw the man with the binocular. What is your first interpretation? Okay, I saw a man. The man was having a binocular. Any other interpretation you got? Yes? That's right. I was using a binocular to see the man. Do you get that interpretation also now? Right? Once again here, the structure affects meaning. For example, if we have, okay Manoj, just see, if we have the PP with the binocular as part of the NP, right, then it modifies the man. The man had a binocular because now structurally we are taking the PP with the binocular as part of NP or DP, the man. That's right. On the other hand, if we take the PP as part of VP, then it means I was using the binocular to see the man. So you see how structure affects interpretation. Now the third property we identified was that there is no upper bound for the structure. Please see, no upper bound. Now this is something we have learned. I have learned it in school. I think it was in grade 7 book. Probably you may have read it, the poem. This is the house that Jack built. At that time when we were schooling, we learnt it as a poem. But now I understand how much depth it has structurally. Okay? And it explains one of the unique properties of human language. That is that there is no upper bound. For example, you see, this is what we call embedding. You can use this CP that to embed and go on and go on. For example, this is the house that Jack built. Then again, this is the cheese that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the mouse that nibbled the cheese that lay in the house that Jack built. You can go on and on and on, embedding like this. That is why we are telling there is no upper bound. If somebody brings the longest sentence in the world to you and read it with that, you simply say, that I read. Okay. That is the end of it. Then, now, there's something to think for you. Have you ever tried a Google search and see whether sentences reoccur? Right? You may try this at home later on. Type in Google within inverted commas any sentence. Then click. Most probably it will say no match. Okay? There is no, sentences do not reoccur in the internet. Even if the databases have millions of sentences, you won't find. Just type any sentence and check, right? No match. Then why is that? Then the other thing, human beings are finite creatures. We have finite experiences. Even in terms of language, we have a finite vocabulary. Vocabulary is finite, remember, that we learn as children, okay? Then how do we have this kind of limitless range that there is no upper bound? How can this become so infinite, this language? The answer, David Adger says, this is not only Adger, but Chomsky and everybody, okay? It is because we create language. Every moment we speak, we create language. Every sentence is a new sentence to us, to the world, okay? We create. So that is why we use our language in an incredibly rich, flexible, creative way. Now, let's look at the applications part, which I want to talk more. So far, I've been talking about language in general as a property of human beings. Now, let's see the linguistic levels, linguistic domains, and linguistic applications. First, let's see the linguistic levels. When we say linguistic levels, we refer to the levels within the language itself, okay, related to language structure. Now, these are the things you are going to learn in this course, some of these, right? For example, phonetics, the study of speech sounds; phonology, the study of speech sound as a system and the rules; then morphology, the word structure; syntax, the study of the sentence structure; semantics, the study of meaning, right? And then pragmatics, where we look for a beyond linguistic meaning, that is contextual meaning. These are linguistic levels. So they relate to language structure itself. Okay? Your course has some of these components. And then the domains are the broader areas of inquiry where we see some kind of relation between these levels, right? And overall, where they belong to. That is where we have historical linguistics, sociolinguistics, then psycholinguistics, neuro, computational, applied linguistics, etc. So these are domains of study. So please don't forget, we have linguistic levels, domains of linguistic study, and then linguistic applications. You see, this is where we use linguistics. When I say linguistics, our linguistic knowledge. When I say again our linguistic knowledge, this is where I use our phonetic knowledge, phonological knowledge, morphological knowledge, syntax knowledge, pragmatic, socio, historical, everything, right? To solve real world problems, where language is either the medium or the object of study, to overcome some challenges and enhance our communication. So these are linguistic applications, the practical side. You see, if we have a good linguistic knowledge, we can see these applications, so we can apply. One is forensic linguistics. Forensic linguistics is where we use our linguistic knowledge in legal settings, right? In legal settings, for kind of authorship identification or analyzing linguistic evidence. You may have heard of police using the fingerprint, but in developed countries, police use voice print, that is called voice print, in legal settings to analyze linguistic evidence, right? And then this language teaching and learning, that's quite familiar to you. One of the most widely applied area, right? Since this is the most prominent, most dominant language teaching and learning, people have taken it, considered it itself as applied linguistics. Actually speaking, applied linguistics is not language teaching and learning. Applied linguistics is a broader area where we apply linguistic methods, theories, and findings in other areas such as translation and all. It's not the only thing, okay? Then also, we use linguistic knowledge to identify or address speech and language disorders, right? Speech and language disorders of children and the adults and people in general. Then another area of application is translation and interpretation. Then also speech recognition and synthesis. That is, this is where we have kind of virtual assistants. Probably you may have already got the help of Google Assistant or Cortana, right? Where you talk something to the computer, computer gives the answer. You ask a question, computer gives the answer. So these are AI assisted tools, right? And then chatbots. Then the other area, natural language processing, where we use again computational models to analyze natural language. For example, in areas like sentiment analysis, information retrieval, machine translation, these are very well developed areas, but unfortunately not in Sri Lanka. Then some other areas, language policy and planning. Remember, these are applications where we use our linguistic knowledge, where we apply in real world situations for language policy and planning. For example, in multilingual societies, you need to find out the first thing in a multilingual society, which language we use as medium of instruction in schools, right? So this is a real matter for India, countries like India, which has more than around 1,600 languages and dialects. Then another area of application is advertising and marketing. Okay? For example, facilitating the development of targeted advertising campaigns and branding strategies. Then also in journalism, writing, media content analysis. Also in healthcare and communication, right? Developing medical terminology, designing patient education materials, etc. Now, why I have been showing you these kinds of applications, linguistic applications, to show you, to open your eyes that linguistic applications are not related only to language teaching. Okay? You have so many other avenues, so many other opportunities in so many other areas if you have linguistics. That is why I wanted to show you all these. For example, please see some of the employment opportunities you may have for linguistic graduates, right? Of course, lecturer, teacher, instructor, general, okay. Please also see, you can be translators, interpreters in various settings, either in government sector or private sector, and healthcare, legal, business, in all these areas, right? Then you can become language technologists, as I said, developing computational models for machine translation, right? And then, again, speech language pathologists or therapists. This is also a widely popular area. Unfortunately, we don't have sufficient people in Sri Lanka even for this, right? Just see the children with speech problems. Where are you taking them? Kalani has, I know, in the medical faculty. Then forensic linguists, as I said, in legal settings. Then you can become a writer, editor, proofreader. Or you can become a research assistant or a language consultant. Why I am telling this is that it is true, teaching is a noble profession. That is right, no question about that. But there are other opportunities also for you in linguistics. And this MA PGD will sufficiently equip you with that the necessary knowledge. Now, although I have been talking about these applications in general, let me select just one out of that and show you how concretely, how practically we can use our linguistic knowledge. Since almost all of you are teachers, I thought of taking language teaching to show you how concretely we can apply our linguistic knowledge in language teaching. Let me ask a question. If you look at these lexical categories, noun, verb, adjective, adverb, you may have learnt it in school, in tuition class. I also learned these things in tuition class, in school, right? Now my main question, how did you learn these at school tuition class? What was the approach? What did they say about nouns, verb, adjective, adverb? Anybody please? Yes? How did they, then again, how do you teach these things to your students? Can somebody tell me? How did you learn? What is a noun? What is a verb, etc.? Yes? Anybody? As teachers, how are you teaching these things to your students now? Please tell me. Anybody? Yes? Don't you teach these lexical categories? Yes? How do you teach? Yes? Okay. Yes. Okay.
Get these action movements.
Right.
For example, bat.
Right.
For example, a jump. Then
Okay.
a jump.
Showing the action for verbs. Those, is it definition based? I learned in school, noun is a name of a person, something. Verb is a word that shows action. Am I correct? I mean, do you also follow the same thing in school now to teach these items? Okay, let's see. Now, can you identify the lexical categories in this sentence? This is from Kani I took, Andrew Kani. They are not, the bolded words are not English words. Okay? They are nonsense words. My question is, can you identify the lexical category of these words? What is Yinkish, what is Dripna, etc.? Yes? Yinkish? What is your guess? Adjective. Dripna? Noun. Blocked? Verb. Good. Costophically? Nindin? Noun. Okay. Pidips? Okay. Now my question is, did you use any definition? Noun is a person, place. Can you do that with this? Not at all. So this definition based criteria, right, notional criteria, they are not really helpful when teaching these categories. That is lesson number 1. If you have been following it, you have to throw it away. I'll show you what to do. Okay? Let's see. Far more reliable are the other criteria, for example, syntactic, that is distributional criteria, and morphological criteria. So let's see how we can teach nouns. Traditionally, person, place, that we already know. Please see. Grammatically, a noun can be the subject or object of a sentence that you know. Okay? For example, Ravi made a cake. Now, a property of nouns is they can be modified by adjectives. These we call properties. A property of noun is it can be modified by an adjective. For example, you would say pretty girl. But this property is not, we cannot see it with prepositions. Prepositions do not have this property. That is why we can't say pretty on. Got it? The wrong example. This star marks show ungrammatical. You can't say, this property is not a property of verbs. So we can't say pretty eat. Right? That is, then this modification is a property of nouns. It can be modified by an adjective. In the same way, look at the distributional criteria. This is what we call syntactic criteria. Looking at a noun, identifying a noun, where with what other words it can occur. For example, what words can precede a noun, what words can follow a noun. That is what we call distribution or syntactic distribution. Okay? So, a noun can follow the, this, that, these, those. All of them we call determiners in linguistics. So, we can say this boy, a boy, the boy. But, this is not a property of the pronouns. You cannot say this on or the eat. Clear to everybody. So this is how we identify a noun by its distribution. With what other elements, other words it occur. It occurs in a sentence. Then the other one is a morphological property of nouns. The plural inflection, pluralizing, it goes with nouns like cats, trees. So this in English, the inflection sir goes with nouns. Right? There are some exceptions like children, dear. Another property is nouns can take the possessive or genitive. We can say Ravi's book, but you cannot say eats book because this genitive marker or possessive, it's not a property of verbs or prepositions. That's why we cannot say ons, or even of adjectives we can't say pretties, right? Then another morphological property is most of the words ending in ment, ness, iti, etc., iti, these are nouns, right? If you take 10 words ending in one of these ment, ness, iti, etc., they are nouns, right? Like government, kindness, etc. So these are some of the morphological and syntactic properties which you can use to teach nouns. Let's go to the verbs. Again, we rely on distributional and morphological criteria, not definitions. If you take the definition, traditionally, a verb is an action. That is how you define it. A verb is a word that shows action. Now, destruction shows action. Am I correct? The word destruction shows some action. Yes, no? Okay. Is it a noun? Sorry, is it a verb? Is it a verb? It's a noun. If a verb shows action, then destruction should be a verb, very simply. That is why we are using other criteria which are reliable. So, a verb can be modified by adverbs. For example, the blank can take only an adverb. He ran fast. Whereas, you cannot have, it is not a property of prepositions. You can't say on fast. It is not a property of nouns. You cannot say table fast, etc. It is not a property of adjectives. You can't say tall fast. Now look at, also verbs can follow an auxiliary, like can, may, might. So he can dance, he may dance, he might dance, etc. But it is not a property of prepositions or adjectives or nouns. You can't say he may at, he can tall, he may umbrella, etc. Then the other one, follows subject, precedes object. Remember, this is in English because it's SVO. Okay? So verb comes after the subject. He took his lunch, etc. But again, it is not a property of the other categories that we were talking. A verb, next property, a verb can be negated with neg marker, not in English. So we can say he did not take his lunch. But negation is not a property of prepositions. You cannot say he did not on. Negation is not a property of adjectives. You cannot say he did not toll. Negation is not a property of nouns. For example, he did not umbrella, etc. Again, then look at the morphological criteria where verbs take ed endings in English, ed inflection, that is a morphological criterion. Then also verbs take aspect ending like ing. For example, Ravi played, Ravi is playing. Then also morphologically, verbs take third person singular agreement, s, sir. Ravi plays cricket. So these are far more reliable criteria to teach these categories. Look at the adjective. Traditionally, this is how you define. But syntactic and morphological criteria are far more reliable. Okay? Please see. So it follows very. An adjective may follow very, the degree adverb. Very pretty. You cannot say very on because it's not a property of prepositions or property of nouns or property of verbs. Then modifies noun, pretty girl, etc. Again, syntactically follows the, and. So we can say the, or a pretty girl, the pretty girl, etc. But you cannot have pretty a girl. Right? Then, morphologically, many adjectives, at least there are, quite a lot, ending in us, famous, ending in ari, supplementary. Remember, these are morphological identification. Then, radical, ik, democratic, ish, foolish, etc. Right? Most of these endings go with adjectives. Then finally, let's also see adverbs very briefly. This is the traditional definition. But again, syntactic and distributional or morphological criteria are far more reliable. Please see, adverbs, most of them ending in li in many cases, right? Cleverly. But it is not a property of prepositions. You cannot say atly. It is not a property of verbs. You can't say runly. It is not a property of nouns. You can't say umbrellali. right? The other one, some adverbs modify the verb. Please look at when we say he will quickly find out, quickly is modifying the verb. What it means is finding out will be done in a quick or certain manner. Please check where the auxiliary will occurs. Will occurs before quickly. Correct? He will quickly. Auxiliary occurs before quickly, where quickly modifies the verb. So we cannot say he quickly will find out. Wrong. Now look at, those are VP adverbs. Adverbs modifying the verb. Also, there are adverbs which modify the whole proposition, the sentence. We call them sentence adverbs. For example, we say, he certainly will find out. Now, these are called proposition adverbs, sentence adverbs, because they indicate the speaker's attitude to what he is telling. So, when I say, he certainly will find out, he is certain. It's not finding out. It refers to his certainty. Okay? Now the point is, here please see where the auxiliary occurs. The different positions of these two adverbs. The sentence adverb precedes the modal auxiliary, right? He certainly will find out, whereas in the previous one, he quickly will. He will quickly, here he certainly will. Okay. So, once again, now you can very clearly see this, the same thing. You can apply what I have been teaching so far, what I have been talking about so far, right? Now we can easily look at this and find out which categories they are, because we know now the morphological and syntactic characteristics are far more reliable. Easily we can see, you will tell me yinkish, ish, ending morphologically the adjectives, etc., right? This is also, I just took from Lewis Carroll. Again, these words in red, nonsense words, right? Later on, you can give these as an activity to your students, okay? To find out which categories they belong to. The definition-based notional criteria are helpless here, okay? Whereas distributional and morphological criteria are far more reliable. Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, I thank all of you for inviting me for this event. And also I congratulate all of you for being selected to this program. So it is up to you. I mean, it is your responsibility to do very well in the program, to do your best and get the best results. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, dear Professor. I personally feel very privileged to be sitting here and listening to such prolific scholars. I'm pretty sure you all feel the same, so thank you again. Let me now invite on stage a former student to share her experiences in following and successfully completing the MA PGD program. Ms. Nisha Ratnayaka, the podium is yours.
Greetings and salutations to all. Chief guest of the ceremony, MA PGD 2022, Professor Sunil Shantha, Vice Chancellor, University of Sabaragamuwa, Sri Lanka. Guest of honor for the ceremony, Professor Rohan Nethsingha, Vice Chancellor, University of Visual and Performing Arts. Keynote speaker for the ceremony, my dearest sir for Social Linguistics, Professor Lalit Ananda. He is in the Department of English and Linguistics, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. Deans, esteemed faculty members, dignitaries, and importantly, my fellow brothers and sisters. First of all, I should pay my humble gratitude to my coordinator, 2022, now your Dean, Dr. Rohan Abevikrama, and our dearest Madam, Sajani Virasinghe, for inviting me to address you all, to share my experiences with you. So in that case, I have a little question. I don't need your answers since you answered a lot. And in this case, are you really excited now? I guess, yes, you are. Because I was there, like you, struggling to gather all this information and to arrange them in my mind properly to get all these ideologies into me. So in that case, first of all, I think you all have made a wise decision, because now you have come to the right track or in the right path now. Because I congratulate you all on joining this incredible community. I think you all can feel that at this moment also. So in that case, I'll start sharing my experience. I was here in 2024 in the second batch. So I was a teacher at that time. I started as a trained teacher 12 years ago, and I had a small pace. That means for 6 years, I did not engage in any further education. So in that case, I was teaching in one of the most leading boys' schools in Colombo, 7. So in that case, one of my friends, she suggested me, I always call her my bosom friend. She suggested me, now this is time for you to get into this course. Because she knew that I was searching for a course in which I can get these two multiple disciplines together. I think for being a teacher, you may know English well, it's all right, but just think of that when it combines or when it mixes with education, pedagogy and all these things, then you will be really competent and skilled as a teacher in your performance. So in that case, I really wanted to have this. So my only question was, okay, this is in Sabaragamuwa, okay. I was serving in Colombo at that time, yet now. So in that case also, she suggested me, don't hesitate. So please go and start this. So I took the decision. Now even at this moment, I proudly and humbly say that is the wisest decision I took at that time. Because you will see it with your own experience, the way how they deliver you the content, not only the content, the practice and the way how they sharpen your skills. So I firstly mentioned that you're going and you're joining an incredible community. Starting from the delivery, you will understand that I think you will all have your timetables with you now and the course guidebook soft copy with you now. So please go through them well and you will understand the caliber of each and every lecturer who perform here. So starting from Professor Rajiv Vijayasinghe, I think when I tell his name even, I feel a little shocked and shivered like that, because I had a usual stomachache on Sunday mornings because of his lectures. But now I proudly say that he is my consultant at every minute I want consultancy for these grammar and all these structures. I send him emails and humbly always he replies us. Every time, yet 2-3 days ago, I had to consult him over a small question or a small thing to get clarified, so like that. And then I think you can see the expertise knowledge of Professor Lalit Ananda. He is the person who inspired me to research on sociolinguistics. It was really new for me at that time. Though I completed several courses, so it was very new for me at that moment. And because of that inspiration, I was not satisfied with the PDF copies of that Janet Holmes sociolinguistics books. I felt that I want that book on my hands. So in that case, it was not available in Colombo even. So then I bought it myself from India. Such an inspiration was given by him. You can see his expertise, knowledge, and I think you're fortunate to be a student of him in this language. That means, especially in linguistics, I think he will teach you social linguistics. I think I'm correct in that case. So, and then Dr. Rohan. I think I must say about him because every time there's a great barrier we all have in communication. Because I think as teachers, even though we are a bit reluctant in that, but Dr. Rohan will surely say you and will surely teach you how to come out and how to shatter all these barriers. So that will be a great thing. And especially, that will not only be a professional growth or especially an educational qualification. I feel that I learned a lot for my life, just like life skills also. Because you will get to know about the growth mindset of the people and the fixed mindsets. And you will learn about Jarvis windows, just all hypothesis theories and all, how to apply them in your life also. And when we come to the next sessions, next lecturers we had, I think I was so privileged to have Madam Parvati Nagasundaram teaching us principles in my pedagogy, methodology in that. So it's a real great treasure we have in our panel, I think. And Dr. Nadi at the same time. And Dr. Taranga teaching us all these grammatical structures and all. And especially in my inauguration, I listened to Professor Raja Vijay Singh like you and Dr. Mahesh Chapagoda. So in these literature context and all, they will talk about all these post-colonial concepts and all these things with you. So you will have a wonderful panel of lecturers, and I should not forget Dr. Darshan also. Because it was a kind of a very turning point, that subject, that means modern theories and trends in education. Because I told you, I don't know whether you recognize that part, I was a teacher. Now, I serve as a lecturer in one of the most leading private universities in Sri Lanka for a good remuneration and reputation. So in that case, at my demonstration, there were some foreign evaluators and some locals, 5. In that case, at the same time, they were delivering my demonstration for 30 minutes online to Australia. So in that case, when I was thinking of a topic, what sort of a topic should I select? At that moment, I thought that I should relate my topic to the requirements of the faculty which I'm planning to join, and education and English. So in that case, I could extract one of the most important topics from the subject, modern theories and trends of education. So I could relate all these things into that, just to show them that this is my perspective and perception on this. So at the end of the presentation, I got all this information going through my old notes given by Dr. Darshan at that time, and all the concepts of communication and all which were taught by Dr. Rohan, and all these structures and patterns, how to get them all as a nice presentation or a demonstration with the expertise knowledge I get from this postgraduate. Honestly, in my case, I always feel that it is a great privilege that I can talk to you all here, because I'm a person who has done 2 graduations beforehand, before doing this, in international universities. But I always keep Sabaragamuwa high above all because of this postgraduate and MA. Because of that, I feel that there's a big difference, because all these lecturers, they have already compiled these syllabuses in order to give us the best as teachers and educators, so in this field. So every time, make sure that you are ready to sacrifice yourself in order to get that benefit into your life. Because I was a frequent traveler, I had to sacrifice my weekends. I know sometimes you are a working woman, at the same time you are a working mother. In that concept, you have to sacrifice your family life a bit. But if you can manage your time, and if you can utilize support of your parents, husband and all, if you can delegate your task among all the support you have around you, you will be really successful. So don't give up. I feel that, and I want everyone to take this into your mind. At the end of every session, you should feel that you have gained something from that. Surely you will. So please make sure that you dedicate yourself a lot and you sacrifice a lot to achieve this greatest fruits of this journey. So, and again, I should talk about the friends I had here. Because of that, I think we all worked as a collaborative group. And we had so many, I think almost all the lecturers, many, they deliver them online, but make sure that you have on-site things also. You will have many workshops, including Dr. Chandana's literature and all like that. So each and every point, you can come here and interact with your friends. You will have a nice set of friends here who are really keen on going ahead in their academic career, in their journey. And I should state about this, I think. Professor Rohan Netsingha mentioned about the technology. So here, we have a wonderful personality in our panel, I think. It's Dr. Susil. He will teach you how to cater the modern contemporary requests or requirements of technology. So when I was applying for this post, it was especially mentioned, contemporary technical and technological skills are required. It was highlighted. So at that moment also, I used number of methods to do my presentation, and I showed them, and they needed me to show the way how I'm going to interact with students using technology. There are so many cross questions from me at that time. So I could succeed because we did it really well here in this MA and PGD. So make sure that they will cover each and every aspect of this education and English, and make sure that you will get all these things into your mind really well. For that, you need to sacrifice from the day one. Don't wait till you come to the examinations. At our time, in 2022, we had so many problems. Not in the university, not in the faculty, but as a country. We were the batch who faced that fuel crisis, and we were after the pandemic, that means post-pandemic situation. So we faced all these things. But make sure the university will never drag this course. They will finish this on time. None of your works will be postponed. You will have no excuses for these things. So I really appreciate, I highly appreciate that. And finally, when you come to your practice and practical sessions, I think I have Madam Priyanti here guiding us for the portfolio and everything. And again, if you are going to end with postgraduate, you will have practical sessions also. I think this is the most important and the wisest decision that you all have made, because this is the only place. As teachers, you will get the qualification in both disciplines, English and education. So I must say, I currently work as a resource person and a bilingual presenter in Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation. Earlier joining this, I was there, but I gave up that. And I had no thought to join at that time. But after completing this, so many lecturers, including Dr. Rohan, they asked, why don't you join now? Because I was really confident enough at that time to join again. Because I feel like I regained my energy in every aspect to perform well in my life after completing this. All these are genuine comments. I have no papers. So all these are genuine comments. I really, really appreciate their dedication, and at the same time, you need to put your part into that also. Then only you will be able to get the maximum benefit of this course. So thank you very much for listening me, and thank you very much for having me here. And I wish you all a good luck and a fruitful journey ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nisha. You are an inspiration for your fellow students. So we are approaching the end of our inauguration program. So to memorialize our respect and gratitude for gracing this occasion with their presence, we would like to present a token of appreciation to the keynote speaker as well as the guest of honor. And to present the souvenir to Professor Rohan Netsingha, our guest of honor, I cordially invite Professor Sunishanta, Vice Chancellor, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. Thank you, sir. And to present the souvenir to our keynote speaker, Professor Lalitananda, I cordially invite Professor H.S.R. Rosero, Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies. Thank you. So marking the end of the inauguration ceremony, I would like to invite the coordinator of the MA English and Education program and senior lecturer at the Faculty of Social Science and Languages, Ms. Sajani Veerasinghe, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, distinguished guests, academic staff members, administrative staff members, non-academic staff members, and my dear students. As the coordinator for the MA in English and Education 2024 program, I consider it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this August gathering. On behalf of the Faculty of Graduate Studies and the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, I would like to extend my deep sense of appreciation for the resource persons for today's event. I'm grateful to Professor Lalit Ananda, the keynote speaker, for sharing his valuable thoughts with the gathering. It was especially significant for me to have you here, sir, because you were my lecturer and my head of department when I was an undergraduate at the University of Sri Jayawardenepura. So it reminded me of those days, and thank you very much for accepting the invitation and for being with us today, sir. I'm also grateful to Professor Rohan Nethsinghe, the guest of honor, and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Visual and Performing Arts for gracing the occasion. It was a privilege to listen to your thought-provoking speech and innovative concepts. I was very touched and moved by your humble and charismatic personality. Your presence made this day extra special. I would like to extend my deep sense of gratitude for the consistent contribution extended by Professor M. Sunil Shantha, the Vice Chancellor of Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. I also wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to Professor H.S.R. Rosero, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, for his tremendous support and guidance. Thank you for your immeasurable service, sir. We couldn't have done it without you. The constant support extended by Dr. Rohana Bevikrama, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages, must be specially mentioned at this moment. Since the very inception of MA PGD in English and Education, Dr. Rohan has been an integral member of it. As the Dean and the former coordinator for the program, he immensely helped me to ensure the smooth flow of today's event. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind support. I would like to take this moment to appreciate the assistance of Professor Manoj Aryaratne, Chairperson, BOS Humanities. It was an honor to work with you, sir, and thank you for being with us today. I also extend my sincere gratitude to all the resource persons of the MA PGD in English and Education program for helping us out in various capacities. We are blessed to have your support. I would like to sincerely thank Mr. Samanyo Angoda, the Registrar, and Mr. W. A.M.P. Senadira, the Acting Purser, for their massive contribution as well. And also, I'm grateful to Dr. H. Divithura, Dean, Faculty of Geomatics, for graciously allowing us and lending us the venue for today's event. And also, I'm thankful to Professor Arnashant Tarakshi, Director of Staff Development Center, for all the support that he gave me. And I'm also grateful to all the heads of the departments, professors, and academic staff members of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages for being with us today. Your presence meant the world for me. Similarly, I'm extremely thankful to Ms. Yashoda Chandrasekhara, the Assistant Registrar, of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages and the Faculty of Graduate Studies for consistent support throughout the occasion. When you organize an event, you realize that there is red tape involved, which we cannot bypass, and it meant a world to have your support down the line. So thank you for your kind assistance. I take this moment to appreciate the hard work of Mr. Anuragunaratne of the audiovisual unit, and I would also like to recognize the support given by Mr. Gihan Priyankara in terms of IT support. Similarly, all the administrative, non-academic staff members of the Faculty of Graduate Studies and the Faculty of Social Sciences and Languages were greatly helpful towards this venture. So I thank all of you. I would also like to thank Ms. Nisha Ratnayaka for delivering such a heartfelt speech representing all the previous students that we've had so far in MA PGD in English and Education. Thank you for your kind words. I feel like our students received a very good idea about the entire program by listening to you, because it's important to hear from a student in order to get that viewpoint. So thank you for sharing your thoughts. As well as that, I'm grateful to Ms. Ashani Maxworth, lecturer in English, Department of English Language and Teaching, for competing with such confidence and grace. And also I'm thankful to Ms. Prabhani and Ms. Iruma for managing the registration desk and allowing me with all your support and making sure that the event went well. So the MA PGD in English and Education program has gained immense popularity among teachers, administrators, and principals in our country, mainly due to the updated knowledge that we offer through this program. And this is all also due to the persistent hard work of Dr. Rohana Bevikrama, the former coordinator for the program, year 2021 and 2022, all the previous vice chancellors, former deans, and of course the Board of Study Humanities, and all the lecturers that we had in MA PGD program. So I consider it a great honor to continue as the coordinator for this program for the second year as well. And I'm sure that this time around I'm also going to get the help of Ms. Maxworth as the coordinator for PGD program. So both of us together, we are hoping to continue this good practice and to ensure that more possibilities like this will be offered to our students in the future as well. And I'm also positive that all of you, the lecturers, deans, and the Board of Study Humanities, all the members will give me and Ms. Maxworth all your support to ensure the quality work that we continue here. And finally, I'm very thankful to all our MA PGD 2024 students. This is a big step and it's a milestone in your academic career, because from today onwards, you are going to embark on a very exciting journey. And I know that some of you traveled for many hours to be here, but I'm positive that none of you regret it, because now you have a very thorough idea of what is yet to come. And if you have any concerns or doubts regarding what's going to happen, don't worry, because two of us, Ms. Maxworth and myself, we are here to help you out with all the worries and concerns that you might have. And along with us, the lecturers will also help you out to figure everything out. So it's a great day for all of us. Thank you, therefore, for being with us today, despite your busy schedule. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much, ma'am. She's a silent but deadly force behind this entire endeavor. So thank you very much to you. And with that, we conclude the inauguration ceremony of the MA PGD in English and Education for the year 2024. Lunch is ready at the Sky Cafe of the Faculty of Management Studies, and on your way there, please pause at the entrance to this faculty, Geomatics, to take a commemorative photograph. So this is Maxworth signing off. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the university anthem.
Saviyai, me mage saviyai. Sabaragamuwa sarasaviyai Sabaragamuwa sarasaviyai
ගිරිකුළු අන රද මතින් ගලායන ජීවිතයේ කඳු මුදුන් සොයාගෙන ආගල කන්ද නගින්නේ ආගල කන්ද නගින්නේ සිරිපා පහනින් එළිය ලබාගෙන මනරම් විදුනන අකුරු දරාගෙන කළුගම් පතුලේ රුවන් සොයාගෙන උඩුගම් බලා දෙන්නේ උඩුගම් බලා දෙන්නේ කගගින් රුදු අඳුර නසාගෙන ඔබෙත් මගෙත් හීන කලලිවන දිනය උදාවන්නේ දිනය උදාවන්නේ මේ ඔබේ සවියයි මේ මගේ සවියයි සබරගමුව සරසවියයි Sabaragamuwa sarasaviyai